There is the birthday boy. 35 years of age now, Matty Simon. Played for both of these clubs. And 15 years ago on his birthday, he was in England. Went to a Liverpool v Manchester United game, and he calls it a light bulb moment. He said it was then that he decided he wanted to be a pro footballer. And hasn't he carved out a wonderful career? 265th appearance in the A-League. Andrew Redmayne will try and keep him quiet tonight. And those safe hands welcomed baby Poppy into the world on Tuesday. Congratulations to him and his wife Caitlin, who's no doubt watching on the television tonight. There is Steve Corica. Never lost to the Mariners as coach. 4 wins and a draw against the Central Coast, who are managed by a Sydney FC legend himself, Alan Stajic, who won 2 W League titles with the Sky Blues back in 2009 and 2013. Last time he was here at Cogra, he masterminded a win over the Melbourne Victory late last season. The Mariners going through their huddle. Robbie Slater on a beautiful playing surface. There's no excuses tonight. This should be a belter.
No, it's been a feature of the game so far. The playing surfaces around the country we've seen so far, and this is exactly the same in perfect conditions. I mean, it's been a warm afternoon, but it is cooling down. I was just down on the ground. There's a bit of a breeze blowing, so a bit kinder, but the Mariners looking to bounce back.
And Sydney FC with 4 points out of 6 so far. Kick things off, a win over Wellington and then a draw in the derby. The Mariners above them on the ladder with 2 wins to start their campaign, and then a loss to Western Sydney 3 nights ago now. Here's Warland, who's keeping Ryan McGowan out of the team. Not able to waltz back in, and partner Alex Wilkinson, the Socceroo, being kept out by this left footer Warland, who's a stylish passer, finds Ninkovic. And here's King in the left back role, and he'll earn an early corner here.
Yeah, it's early. Look how Sydney like to play. Like to get Ninkovic in that little pocket, able to turn, and the channel opens up for the advancing fullback, Joel King, and it's a good block, but away for a first Sydney FC corner.
And they work it short to the milestone man, Caceres. Back post, Barbarouses. If he got it back across the face, Sydney FC were on there.
Well, he should do better. It's a terrific ball to the back post. Times he's run really well, Barbarouses, and just needs to side foot that back across, and he must have taken his eye off it at the last moment. That's a good early chance for Sydney FC wasted.
Ended a 15-game goalless drought with that penalty dispatched against Western Sydney. Scored the only goal last time these teams met at this venue, round 10 of last season. I'm sure Sydney FC are hoping finding the back of the net, even though it was from the spot, boosts his confidence.
Oh, it does. And like you said, ended that barren run. It doesn't matter. A lot of people said to me, yeah, but it was a penalty. It doesn't matter. He's buried it. It's hit the back of the net. And it would have been a huge relief.
Simon nodded it down, intended for Bowman, but hooked clear by Luke Bratton, who's been adjudged the best on the ground in his first 2 games of the campaign by the Fox Sports judges in the Alex Tobin medal votes. Clever ball to Simon. They think they've got him offside. Flag staying down, and the birthday boy blazed wide, but it would not have counted. The flag came up eventually.
Yeah, doing the right thing. Referee's assistant just let the play go on. He's clearly offside. Just in case there was a doubt, he allows it to go on and then raises the flag.
Greg Taylor dealing with the setting sun here in Sydney. Beautiful beach day on this Friday. Tough ball for Caceres, but Rattray trusted him, and the Mariners squeezed him and created the error.
Well, Mariners did that well against the Wanderers midweek. particularly that opening 25 minutes, they squeezed and didn't allow the Wanderers midfield to have comfortable possession.
Mark Bosnich, what are you making of the intensity level?
Good evening, Brandon. Good evening, Robbie, and to all our viewers. Well, it's understandable thus far. Like I said, it's still quite warm here. It's cooling down slowly. But I thought, and Robbie hit the nail on the head, that first sequence of play from Sydney was exactly what they want, to get their fullbacks forward, Bratton coming into the back three to pick up the ball. And I must say, you know, that chance for Barbarouses, for me, that was a fantastic opportunity. I really, you know, I really can't underline whether that's the first minute or the 30th or the last. But I don't. That is a fantastic opportunity to get the ball across the face of goal, and it's just a tap in. So they've got to make sure, and we saw on the weekend against the Wanderers, missing these type of chances, how it came back to haunt them.
30 years of age now, Costa Barbarouses made his debut in the A-League against the Mariners as a 17-year-old with the Wellington Phoenix. Thought Grant was borderline offside there.
No, I agree with you. Looked like he'd gone too early.
Doesn't matter now as Bozanic strolls away. Simon switches it up to Stefan Negro. Here's Josh Nisbet, who had a glorious chance to give the Mariners the lead against the Wanderers. A double chance, as you guys described it in the pre-game. Ruan Tonic looking for Nisbet. Bowman. And Stensness, the anchor in midfield for the Central Coast. Bozanic's ball cut out by Caceres, immediately looking to get on the front foot. Slides it through for Barbarouses and makes Birighitti make the save that time.
Yeah, he covers the near post and pretty easy save in the end, but Costa Barbarouses, terrific run. Now by Caceres in this little burst here. They thought they had him and then he just burst away. Finds the right pass, great run. Difficult on the swivel to try and angle that back across the goalkeeper, which would have certainly made it interesting, but could only get enough to get it on the near post, and a fairly comfortable save from Birighitti.
Great pressure by Stensness, poked it away from Ryan Grant. Now Matty Simon earning his team the attacking throw. I think the Sydney FC players were suggesting that was a foul throw kind of situation, but Ben Abraham says let's take the real one. Here's De Silva, Clisby in that left-back role.
Yeah, they combined well against the Wanderers. Nisbet and De Silva were very busy and very good.
Never a throw-in, was that, by Matt Simon?
No.
We'll let him off because it's his birthday.
You would have pinged him otherwise, Bozza, on another day?
Yes.
Saw it with Corey Brown the other day. Melbourne Victory fullback. Chested by Caceres. And Barbarouses is around Kai Rolls and then just let it drift over the byline. Questioned Owen Goldrick for a moment, but looked clearly out here before he flicked it back in. Only conceded one goal in his opening 3 games of the season. Mark Birighitti been in outstanding form. And stand to hope when the ball fell for Muller the other night in Gosford. Wilkinson hunting win number 150 in the A-League here tonight. Great run made by De Silva here. Spotted as well by Stensness, but favoured Ryan Grant in the end. There's a lot of space for De Silva to move into. Again, they look settled, the Mariners. Got a little fortunate with the Barbarouses moment early on. Now they're settling into possession. And between the lines, Nisbet. Bowman keeps it alive and then clattered into Bratton. Then Abraham letting things roll as it broke for Sydney FC. And says advantage is there for the Mariners this time as Bozanic was caught by Caceres. Now it's narrow here. Bowman opens it up for Clisby. No way around Ryan Grant. Oh, Bozanic and Grant are coming together off the ball there, and Grant didn't like it one little bit. Have another look at that in a moment, perhaps. There was a flying elbow the other night. Matt Simon accused of that. And interesting the way Bozanic left one in on Ryan Grant there. Here's Ninkovic. 2-on-2. Bahaja in the middle. Barbarouses wide. Ninkovic heard the shout of man on. Couldn't lift it back to Barbarouses. Here's Redtray. Grant to Warland. Good passing this by Sydney FC. Caceres in a little pocket. And Bratton capable of smashing those in the top corner.
Yeah, but wild. The way he approaches, he's leaning completely backwards. So there's only one place it's going to go in. This is a little incident. Bozanic and Ryan Grant, not a lot in it. Bit of feeling though. And here's the strike. Caceres cutting inside. He's probably looking to hit that himself on his left. Tees it up, and a wild one from Bratton.
What could Grant have been complaining about to the referee? He immediately ran to the referee, suggesting Bozanic had done something untoward, but as you say, that replay showed nothing.
Oh, just a little flick on his tummy.
Hope he doesn't touch his mullet. They'll be hell to pay. Seen that before. Wilkinson looking long. Oh, Tonic left it behind, and Birighitti was backing him up.
Birighitti likes that. He likes being off his line. He likes to be sweeping behind his back four. And luckily he was there. Did Tonic misread the flight of that ball, or did he let it go?
Bowman nodded it on for De Silva, trying to place it here, but no test for Redmayne. Of course, they were former teammates. Danny De Silva spent a season on loan at Sydney FC. Sat on the bench in that grand final win in Perth a couple of years ago now. Caceres using the chest again, and then showed too much to Bozanic. Good advantage played again for Matt Simon. Threaded it through, and De Silva, they're overworking it here, the Mariners. Can they get a shot away? No, they can't, and perhaps they should have.
Yeah, I thought Matty Simon could have pulled the trigger there. Elected to play that pass towards Nisbet. It opened up nicely for him on his right foot. And that's what they've got to do, get better at. There's good situations. They had a lot of them, particularly in the first half against the Wanderers. Final ball, final decision.
Talked for a while now about Sydney FC's formation. Are the Mariners almost playing an identical setup, or what's the difference?
Yeah, well, if you look at Nisbet and De Silva, they tuck in, so it's fairly similar. Perth played it against Adelaide to great effect. And it's a bit soft, I agree. You're getting one there. It's a good position for Luke Bratton.
There's some copycat stuff going on, Robbie. You're saying Perth are playing that 4-2-2-2. And likewise the Mariners here tonight.
Yeah, they had D'Agostino and Steins tucking in.
Good spot for Bratton. Drives it in low, and Grant denied by Birighitti. Thought it might have come up onto the hand of Ryan Grant in the initial scramble.
Well, whatever it is, it's a very good save from Birighitti at his near post, because he's so close to him. And he just smothered that shot, really. Different option along the ground to that near post.
Now Bratton delivers a corner, and Grant got up again. And Birighitti says, can we have a goal kick? The assistant agrees. So Grant a threat from back-to-back set pieces. Once scored a belting goal against the Mariners. Highlighted on the club's social media channels during the week.
Well, Alan Stajic highlighted Ryan Grant in the pre-game as a threat. And we saw twice, particularly the first time.
Simon picking up the second ball. Thought for a moment he wasn't going to be able to play on his birthday the way he was going the other night. Picked up one yellow card and sailed close to the wind on other occasions. Tonic trying to drop it over the top for Nisbet, who's keeping King honest. Michael Zullo out for a couple of weeks with a calf problem, so King under no pressure for that spot. And that was a nearly moment for Barbarouses. Zanuck dropping back between the centre halves. A little too straight towards Redmayne, although Bowman didn't give up on it. Mariners off to their best start since 2007. When they won their first 3 games on their way to lifting the Premier's plate. Broken up by Clisby. Simon able to look forward, Bowman on his bike. Patience on display from Matty Simon. Utilising Negro, and now Nisbet. Worth a go for Bowman. Tough one to get on target. At least the intent was there for the young striker. He was playing in the Dutch second division last year. Daniel Bowman, team on course for promotion to the top flight. And then COVID came along and Dutch football elected not to play out the season.
Yeah, they were one of the first, weren't they? France, the Dutch, and the Belgium league. The first 3.
And no relegation from the top flight. No promotion for Cambourg, the club that he was at. Here's Redmayne. Tonic towers over Barbarouses and got there first. Ball stayed in through all of that. And here's Caceres able to turn. Grant pushing on again. Bahaja in the middle. Caceres kept on going. And a deflection could have looped over the top of Birighitti, but it favoured him in the end.
Yeah, the block took all the pace off it. So Birighitti comfortable in the end. Ryan Grant getting forward. Great run from Caceres, who started the play. And good defending.
Straight down the other end after wonderful distribution from Birighitti. Found the feet of Matt Simon. Stensness busy in midfield. Turning away from Caceres. They've let Caceres off the chain a couple of times. The Mariners midfield. Central Coast trying to play their stuff, and that challenge from behind from King prompted the whistle. The referee deciding that a set piece there for the Mariners was the advantage.
Yeah, right decision. It's tackle from behind. Joel King on Nisbet. Straight ball. You can't do that. Doesn't matter whether you get the ball or not.
Hopefully Nisbet can run that one off, but he's sore as he goes back to halfway and watches Clisby. Played in towards Simon, and Redmayne just elected to punch.
He wasn't far away, was he, Simon? Dangerous ball from Bozanic, and you can't stress enough how important the pick-up of Bozanic has been for the Mariners. So much experience and a lot of quality as well.
And a local lad, of course. Grew up in Avoca on the Central Coast. Simon, another Central Coast lad. Ninkovic very nearly for Bahaja. Barbarouses dragged it out of the sky and can use the Serbian maestro if he likes. Ninkovic in the wide area now. Not the best cross.
Yeah, mishit it. He saw Bahaja at the near post.
Oh, Stensness telegraphed his intent, and Ninkovic read him. Bahaja played 50 games in Central Coast colours before heading to Sydney FC a few years ago now. Went through that ACL rehab and then starred in the other ACL, the Asian Champions League, late last year. Barbarouses, little 1-2 with King, and Negro just got there to charge it down at the expense of a corner.
Yeah, stayed concentrated. Negro did well. Little give and go, 1-2. Hesitates on that one, fakes to cross it, 1-2 with Ninkovic, and Negro was alert to the danger.
Good smattering of Mariners supporters, including right behind the corner taker here. Bratton delivers, and Matt Simon heads just out of the area. Silva working hard, got there ahead of Redtray. Beautiful play. And Stajic wants his team to surge forward here. De Silva again, one more was the cry from the coach, and Stensness played it beautifully. Pirouetted away from Redtray and finds Nisbet. Oh, couldn't quite get the weight right.
Yeah, it's a great move. He did so well. And just that pass was on. It's just the execution.
I talked about the physicality of Gianni Stensness the other night, Mark Bosnich. Does he stand out on that front?
I think definitely he does. I think him and, like Robbie said, the signing of Oliver Bozanic has been an integral part of why they've had such a good season thus far. There's no doubt about that. They are finding the going a little bit tough, which is understandable. So is Sydney to a lesser extent, like I said, because of the heat. This is why both sides are being a little economic. But in terms of the way that they play, I mean, if you just watch Sydney, the way they get these two fullbacks forward, and they use the signal of Bratton getting the ball at the back, is really a pleasure to watch. They're so good in tight areas, and they make sure that they hold their run to the last minute, so hopefully they can draw people out. Robbie spoke in the pre-match about how compact Central Coast have been. It's very difficult for them when Sydney are playing like this.
I think Stajic is right there. I think that came off a Sydney play, didn't it?
Yeah, Bozanic played it out off Ryan Grant and thought he had the throw. Not the best view for the assistant, who's worried about the offside 20 metres further down the pitch, of course. Ninkovic to Barbarousis. And Tonyik with a nice read defensively.
Talk about skill in tight areas. Ninkovic there, brilliant.
Tonyik able to push on. Negro, the former Melbourne Victory man who went through 2 weeks of quarantine in Darwin just to get to the Central Coast for a trial, able to earn a contract and starting every game. Spence's upended before the ball struck his hand. It was one of the great stories after the Mariners win on New Year's Eve, the way the coach almost tears in his eyes as he relayed the story about Stefan Negro. Well done, young man. 24 years of age. It was in January, a long time ago now, that he was man of the match on debut in Victory colours. Five years ago now. Clisby delivers. Oh, good header. Didn't he get up quickly, Bozanic, and couldn't quite steer it on target.
Yeah, and that was the key. Great ball in. Took up a really good position, and it was a fine header, just not on target. Offside anyway. Not to note at that stage.
Scorer of 8 goals in his A-League career, Ollie Bozanic. Had a little bit of time with the Melbourne Victory himself before heading overseas. Kai Rolls has been a standout so far this season for the Mariners, alongside Tonyik at the back. And he was dragged back by Barbarousis. Great article about Ruan Tonyik in the Sydney Morning Herald from Vince Regari yesterday. He's got an 82-year-old mate who's watching at home tonight. A real football fan in Remo up on the Central Coast, who knew that Ruan Tonyik was a footballer, so he saw him across the way in the flats they live in, and he said, I'm a football fan, you want to have a chat? And now they're great mates who go and watch A-League games together. Photo of them at a Newcastle Jets game. Ruan said to Remo, hop in the car and I'll take you for a day trip up to Newcastle. Great yarn from Vince. Here's Simon. De Silva, full of trickery, and at least gets a throw out of that one as Caceres and Bratton double teamed it.
Switch.
Simon, right in the thick of it. Forced back by Sydney FC. They're actually shading possession now, the Central Coast Mariners. Hit back in that category after the opening stages. More completed passes as well from Alan Stajic's side. Sydney FC with the more forward passes though. It's a sign of their intent under Steve Corica to go quickly when they can. Bozanic strong. Couldn't keep it in though. Ninkovic was asking for a whistle that never came. Clever touch again, De Silva. Simon has no one ahead of him.
Yeah, both sides having the same problem. Approaching that front third is the problem. Most of this game has been in the middle third. That's why it's so even.
Stensness. Shooting chance blocked off by Bratton. Quick delivery from Clisby. Ninkovic, what about that? On the edge of his own area, chests it down, and the ripple of applause from the knowledgeable fans here at Cogra. But De Silva was hunting a top corner finish there, and the referee with a belated whistle.
He looked to have let it go and then came back to it as De Silva was striking the ball. Searching for that top corner. He probably got it right.
Ninkovic for Bahaja, looking for Barbarouses. King is in there as well. Here's Costa's chance! And can't get it on target on the turn.
He had to nearly turn 180 degrees. Ninkovic with the spark. Onside, Bahaja, cleverly, first time across. Good block there from Tonyik. King, clever as well, plays it straight back. It's not an easy one, but he just can't wrap his boot around it. It's an empty net.
How do you assess his confidence levels, Mark Bosnich?
Well, understandably, rock bottom after tonight, and we saw really in the first minute, you could tell that, obviously the weekend as well. It's just not happening for him right this moment in time. This is why, in my opinion, besides a few other reasons, why they need to get Bobo fit as soon as possible, because it's amazing how competition can concentrate the mind. But I think that was evident. Like I said, that first minute, for me, that was just, I can't believe how good a chance that actually was. But they just got to be careful here, Sydney, because we're seeing with Central Coast Mariners, you know, if you give them half a chance, they'll be, and they've stayed in this. And Sydney now, the chances that they're starting to miss are starting to rack up.
Ninkovic asking for more protection from the referee, Ben Abraham. He's been on the end of some physical stuff here.
Yeah, and that's what the Mariners and Statute, they would have worked on, not giving him room. You just saw a glimpse, well, not a glimpse, you saw the example of what he can do when he faces forward and he gets in between the lines. The best chance of the game, he sets up, Bahaja through, and Costa Barbarouses should have scored. No doubt about that.
There was also a square ball on. It's a difficult art to hit it on the turn. He could have teed up Caceres as well, but had eyes for goal.
It's literally for Costa at the moment. It's just a mind thing, and it's the last touch. It's literally putting the ball in the back of the net, because the positive for him, and I've heard coaches say it, and commentators time again, is the positive is he's getting a lot of chances. He's in the position. It's literally the final finish.
This time he's linking things up, clipping it out to Caceres. Bahaja, no chances have fallen his way yet. Turn is the cry for Caceres. Grant kept on running, didn't quite see an avenue there. Here comes Ninkovic though, and his touch lets him down at the key moment.
Yeah, he takes a good touch there. You can see he's trying to cushion it with his left foot. The next one would have been a strike, and it's another very good chance for Sydney FC.
They were all on the move that time, three of them making similar runs at the same time. Mariners defenders didn't know where to look. Ninkovic brings it down. You fancy the celebrations might be coming to an end about now for the goal. So a wake-up call for the Mariners defence. High rolls. Did well under pressure. Bozanic, lovely turn. Gives De Silva one to chase to the corner. Wilkinson putting in the big ones. And it's a Sydney FC throw. Like he's a pretty popular figure, Danny De Silva. Here's that chance for Ninkovic earlier on.
And he was onside.
Yeah, Ollie.
22 years of age, Kai Rolls, growing in stature, putting muscle onto that frame after every pre-season. Came in as a really wiry figure. First with the Brisbane Roar and then getting a lot of games with the Mariners under pressure as Bahaja faces up to him here. And Kai Rolls good enough to stand up to that challenge and keeps it in. And the foul committed by Bahaja in the end. So no corner given up by Kai Rolls. It was a very near thing. Zanuck helped him out.
Tries to cut inside there. Not a heavy enough touch, if you want to put it like that. Rolls desperate to save the corner. And Zanuck, who's been everywhere, coming back to clean up and help out.
Simon again the target. The two good mates go up. Oh, De Silva was dragging that pass, but Bowman had an inadvertent touch. Not quite kept in by Bowman. Ninkovic on the turn. Milos Ninkovic, and straight down the throat of Birigidi.
Yeah, decent save. Low down to his left, but again, in between the lines, nearly on the last line there. Swivels, great technique. Not enough power in that strike.
Silva keeping the move going. Simon hoping a teammate was there, but it was straight to Bahaja. Barbarouses trying to flick it for Ninkovic. Stensness was around Paolo Retre, and that's just asking for a yellow card. Receives the first of the game. It's my first one, he says. If that comes into Steve Corica's thinking now, because Callum Neuenhoff is on the bench, Retre is on a yellow card, and that would be a like-for-like change potentially at half-time. Watch this space. Can't wait to see this guy again. He lit up the league with that goal on debut against the Wellington Phoenix down in Wollongong. They scored 2 belters that day to get their only win of the season so far. Played 2 games, of course. Missed the game because of an ankle injury, Neuenhoff, and Steve Corica said he also was troubled by that at the start of this week. Part of the reason he didn't start tonight. Rolled out to Stensness. Curling one around for De Silva, who's drifted into space. Danny De Silva has Grant backtracking. Tries the elaborate turn and goes to ground. No foul there.
And that was their first entry into Sydney FC's penalty box for quite some time there. Danny De Silva one-on-one with Grant. Fullback coming out on top.
Tough turn that. Ryan Grant did it beautifully. Sydney FC surging forward again. King for Barbarouses, trying to tee up Ninkovic, and Stensness put enough pressure on him, but concedes the corner.
Yeah, just got close enough. great track back from Stensness as well. He was beaten in that first challenge when this move started. Little flick back, just maybe not enough weight on it. Ninkovic sort of half hit it, didn't he? Big deflection and loops over the bar.
All 4 corners in the game have been at this end. Bratton's delivery has looked dangerous. That time comfortably cut out by Bozanic. Rattray can send it back to this right-hand side. Caceres
Ran into trouble.
Yeah, ran into Matt Simon, who stayed in a crumpled heap there. He copped the full brunt of Caceres, and Alan Stajic is saying, where's the whistle? And now he's worried about Simon keeping Sydney FC attackers on side. Tonyik against Bahaja. Second effort gets it out.
Just looked for a minute like he was in. Bahaja and Tonyik twice thoughts in. Another corner. As Caceres running into trouble. Just catching Simon on the thigh.
And the foot. Should have been a free kick. The coach is making that point. Instead, they're under pressure. Facing up to another set piece. Caceres!
Not far. Had Birighitti beaten. Short corner. 2 passes. Little 1-2 there, and then he just goes across. Just can't sneak it in that far post. That's a good effort. Sydney's certainly shading this first half now. And Steve Corica will wonder how they're not ahead.
And the breakdown of those 150 A-League games for Anthony Caceres. 62 for the Mariners, 43 for Melbourne City. And tonight his 45th for Sydney FC. Wallen couldn't get it beyond Bowman. He's a tall athlete on that right-hand side of the Central Coast. What happened to a high boot was a complaint from a Sydney FC player towards the referee. Here's Nisbet being quiet tonight. Simon. Beautiful play by King, but Stensness read it, took it off Ninkovic. Silva caught by Bratton, and Mariners say we'll take a set piece.
Yeah, Bozanic sort of just stood on the ball and said, oh, we'll have the free kick.
What do you think of that thought process so central here?
You know, there wasn't much on. I mean, they were set Sydney, and maybe a set piece, something different. So
Tonyik getting forward. Simon and Bowman both have the potential to tower over opposition defenders. De Silva looking for Bozanic again. He's onside this time. Bouncing ball, Stensness. Oh, the bicycle kick would have been some way to score his first A-League goal for Daniel Bowman. Couldn't get the power. Teed up by Stensness, who scored a bicycle kick, of course, last season. Yellow card out again here. Bowman, who was trucking back despite being on his backside just moments earlier, picks up the booking.
Ball just popped up nicely. Nice technique on it. Just didn't get the power necessary. Redmayne pretty relieved though, but then he tracks back, and Ninkovic in full flight.
Only change to either 11 tonight was Daniel Bowman with the fresh legs for the Mariners. It's Caceres. Grant's offside, I think. Play comes up now, but the Mariners have it, so the ref should say play on. It might work out for them. Lovely distribution again from Birighitti. 50-yard throw towards De Silva.
Yeah, and what about the recovery? Run from Caceres, who was just involved, chipping that ball over for the offside Grant.
Trademark diagonal from Bratton, or not so trademark because it missed the mark. I'd say that too often about a Luke Bratton 40-yard pass. Closing in on half-time. Sydney FC have had their chances, but no goal as yet. Mariners with a few half chances. The Bowman bicycle kick, one of the best. Bahaja kept on running in behind. What a ball from Bratton. Bahaja got past Tonic again and was hoping the back heel might find a teammate.
Well, Tonic did enough, didn't he? Super ball from Bratton. Sees that ball inside Bahaja on his way. Tonic does enough.
Referee says we'll have 1 minute added on. And yellow card for Matty Simon for throwing his weight around in another aerial duel and catching Paolo Retro. Jumped with his arms in the air, but then flung that left elbow. That's what the referee saw, and tough to argue with that one, although Matt Simon is. I think it's in the scouting report for referees now. Watch Matty Simon in aerial duels and dish out the yellows if you have to. Abraham's had a good half. It's a good young referee. Simon still complaining. Won't even have time to go for an aerial duel here, I don't think. Whistle about to sound. And he keeps his arms down, takes the mickey out of the referee because he knew the half was over. So good stuff there between striker and whistleblower. No goals as yet here. Sydney FC take on the Central Coast Mariners. At the break, it is 0-0. Let's go down to Adam Peacock.
Speedy, thank you. Players going off for a well-earned rest. It's still okay down here. It's not ridiculous like it was before, and we're waiting on Ryan Grant to get all hooked up so we can have a quick chat before we go to the break. And Mark Bostic is standing by. He's making his way down to the pod to have a chat in a moment. But Ryan Grant, come on down. Here he is, nice and ready. Ryan, how are you, mate? Were you getting forward as much as you wanted to, or keeping your discipline because of the balance with Joel King on the other side?
No, I just think it was the way the game went. We probably didn't have tight enough possessions for me to get forward. I saw the creep forward later, but we didn't keep possession as much as we usually do, so maybe that's why.
A couple of times, it wasn't like Andrew Redmayne was the busiest man in the entire postcode, but a couple of times Central Coast were able to play through. How do you stop that and be able to turn the ball over quicker to get your dangerous players on the ball in dangerous positions?
Yeah, it's a great question. Obviously, Bimby will have a game plan coming into that second half, but we definitely need to shut them down a bit quicker. I think we're giving them a little bit too much time on the ball, and they're spraying passes, and Simo's putting himself about, which sort of always creates something. So I think if we tighten that up and then we can keep possession, we should be a good chance in the second half.
It's his birthday, he can do what he wants. Ryan Grant, thank you for that.
Thank
Enjoy
you.
half-time. We're off to a quick break. Yeah, a couple of chances, maybe half chances, maybe bigger than that. Certainly one to Costa Barbarouses in that half. We're going to be back to discuss it all. Myself and Mark Bostic. 0-0, half-time, Sydney FC and Central Coast Mariners.
Sound the alarm bells! goodness, isn't the stage set? This game is from another universe!
Window fully pinated, Keith. Some insurers don't fix it excess-free, which could affect next year's party budget.
That's not a pinata, Dad.
But luckily, Amy has an option that does, and that's what I call a pinata. Does your home insurer offer optional excess-free glass cover? Amy does.
Here in Australia, we do summer like nowhere else.
Summer is definitely boots off and thongs on.
It's keeping our drinks cold.
And the Barbie hot, because you never know who might drop in.
Summer is the smell of sunscreen.
The sound of a wicket.
It's even pulling on the gloves for a little bit of DIY. We'll help you make the most of Australia's favourite season.
Because here in Australia...
And here at Bunnings.
That's how we summer.
The new Aussie Angus Burger has arrived at Macca's, made with delicious onion rings and bacon. Or grab a side of the new golden onion rings. Wherever summer takes you, we'll be here.
Make an impact on your community in the Army Reserve. You'll do more than hope people are all right. You'll make sure they are. Just work from as little as one night a week, one weekend a month, or a few weeks a year.
Bit by bit, day by day, you're pushing to go further, faster, stronger, and Rebel's got what you need. So extend yourself, because sport is calling.
Unlike other modems, Telstra's smart modem is cleverly backed up by Australia's best 4G network. So if the connection to your house stops, your home Wi-Fi won't. Switch today to experience Australia's most reliable home Wi-Fi with the Telstra Smart Modem.
Window fully pinated? Some insurers don't have an option to fix it excess-free. But luckily, Amy does.
You're with Amy.
Now is the time to get outside and do those big projects. It's put that retaining wall in, put those pavers down and get that deck built.
If you are looking at doing some home improvements, our DIY videos online are really good for that. They make it simple, and if you can do it yourself, you can save a heap of money.
It doesn't need to cost a fortune to make your outdoor area look great. You can come in and you can do it for a great price.
Summer's a great time to do those bigger projects.
Shop at Bunnings wherever you are, whenever you want.
A bold new Aussie drama is coming to Foxtel. Starring Harriet Walter, Frances O'Connor, Noni Hazelhurst and Roy Billing. The End begins February 2 on Fox Showcase.
Interesting old first 45 minutes here at Congress. Sydney FC, Costa Barbarousas in particular, had a couple of big chances, but Central Coast Mariners are not making life comfortable for Sydney FC in any way, shape or form. That from Daniel Bowman, absolutely spectacular. Didn't quite come off, but Mariners right in this against the champions in a place where they've dominated opposing teams more often than not. Adam Peacock.